2024, my year in review. The subtext to this presentation, for me, the underlying tone is Pluto finally leaves Capricorn. My goodness, what a transformative year. This year has been filled with change and transformation on all levels, and I'm ultimately grateful. And let's review how the year started, shall we? Q1 started with a celebration, celebrating the good life, celebrating milestones, realizing childhood dreams, starting with who doesn't see eating crab legs as a good life? Okay, king crab. To celebrate the new year is how I started off, and I celebrated my first full year of being a full-time employee with my current employer as a technical writer. I am highlighting this. This is a major milestone for me because at the age of 42 or 43 is when I selected my career for the first time. And it's a career I'm well suited for. And it's a major accomplishment also because I chose my career using astrology. I will tell this to whomever is willing to listen because I love helping people use astrology to find their path. Another highlight is I experienced Foodie Land. They came to Phoenix, and so my youngest brother and I went and we hung out in Q1. Still a little chilly, but I mean, it was warm enough that I really didn't need that jacket. And then I love EDM music. Kruder and Dorfmeister stopped here March 1st. They were playing nearby. They did a show nearby. I had to go, and I did. And I also got to experience a community organization called Dolce or Desert Overture. They are the premier music wind ensemble that supports or advocates for the LGBTQ community and allies. I am certainly an ally, or I consider myself an ally, and I once played in this ensemble, and so I like to support when I can. Let me show you a highlight from these two experiences, the concert and the community event. You know, they played the Black National Anthem, and I thought that was that was unexpected. I didn't know that they would do that. And living in Phoenix, it's first not a lot of Black people here, and that they chose to highlight the Lift Every Voice and Sing um, as a way to honor that composer was very um, it was such a beautiful experience for me. I got some food for thought reminders back in Q1, reminding me that if life is hard, it's because I'm either leaving my comfort zone or because I'm staying in it. And so Q1 again, just being that transformative time for me. My rising sign is Capricorn, and Pluto was finishing out its 20-year stint in Capricorn in 2024, and that affected me, in all areas of life. Q2 is all about connection.
the mighty marching Panthers of Clark Atlanta University. He's ice cold. Show your love for Isaiah, the Pharaoh, Daniel. HBCU All-Stars is
I am an alum of an HBCU marching band, and I get hyped anytime I see anything about HBCUs and marching bands because I went to Tuskegee TU, and I was in the Marching Crimson Piper Band, MCPE. I'm going to rep and support HBCUs every chance I get. It's like, when you're from a city and you rep that city when you're away. So when I was at Tuskegee, I would rep Tuskegee and we would like battle against the other HBCUs. But now that I am, you know, a graduate and away from college, away from undergrad, it's like I support all HBCUs. So that was a highlight for me. And this past May, my loctician, Cherry Davis Cook, um, well, let me say it like this. Okay, this past May, I surpassed 5 years. I achieved a milestone of 5 years being locked with sister locks, and Cherry installed those locks. And at the time of my installation, she gave me a an extension from her plant. And I have that plant today. And so you see the little, I call her a little sapling, little sprout. And 5 years later, she has grown, and so have my sister locks. And so I thought that was such a beautiful gesture and a testament to the transformation again, just the growth and transformation that is symbolized for me in 2024. There is just, transformation and change. And to do that, community is necessary, and community represents the wings that make us fly. So we have to be grounded, but we can also fly with the help and support from our community. I also celebrated or highlighted being a tourist in my own backyard because I realized I've been here for so long, 15 years in Phoenix, and I need to do more. And so I did. Another milestone, major milestone I accomplished and a highlight for 2024 is shedding, I don't even remember how many pounds. I think like, I don't know, was it over 20 pounds? I don't know. The point is, I feel better. I started working with Melissa Neal at around my birthday in 2023. And so let's say, I guess 3-4 months in, she started an 8-week transformation challenge. And it was her first challenge. And I said, oh my goodness, this is her inaugural challenge. And this is my first time really going hard when it comes to committing to a fitness and nutrition routine and regimen. I said, man, I am committed to doing this. I am committed to transformation. And that, again, that theme of transformation, Pluto in Capricorn, Capricorn being the first house, being the outward appearance, I really transform myself with the help of community. And that is a key. Looking back and, reflecting on this year, community is really what supported me in my transformation. I could not do this by myself. I could, but it would be a lot more difficult for me. There's that proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I tell you, I would be going slow and not that fast if I were going alone. And so being perimenopausal, that inflammation and weight gain, specifically in the midsection, was just so defeating to my self esteem. I was already feeling terrible because of increased cortisol rates and easily being stressed and chronic fatigue, chronic stress. And so I already felt terrible. And then I looked the way I felt. It was just a vicious cycle. And so I'm so grateful to Melissa Neal. I encourage any woman over 40 who needs community to connect with Melissa Neal. I have an affiliate link. I would I would love to connect you with her, but even if you don't use my affiliate link, just get in community because it would be such an inspiration and the wings that help you fly. So this little caption reads, with community, being inspiring, hardworking, and not leaving anyone behind is the standard. And I can attest to that. Another highlight for my Q2, Missy Elliott in Vegas. I got my t-shirt made and met up with my loctician, Cherry. And we met up in Vegas and we went to Missy Elliott's Out of This World tour. Now, both, I don't know where I was going with that. I did not really get any pictures with Cherry, but we were both there and we had a blast. We stayed at the Park MGM and it was summertime and I just indulged in relaxation and fun and everything that just made me feel feel like I was living, feel like I was, you know, putting my money in, investing in me so that I could come back to the grind.
Drag is good. Nice. Drag is good.
That image was me taking the self-driving car to the airport, and it's a Jaguar. Okay, I felt so fancy in that Jaguar, and the beverage was some kind of like version of an old fashioned, and the bartender was so cool. The bartender, she infused the drink with smoke. It was like a smoky drink. It was really good. Q3, a mixed bag. I went from rooftop pool parties in Atlanta to meadows in Chicago. Devastating news. My dad passed. My dad passed in August. And I could not believe it. I am so grateful though, because I had spoken to my dad days before he passed, and he was in such a good space. We connected. I don't feel like there were words unsaid between my dad and me. He's such a unique soul. My dad was a Gemini, and he was a collector of all kinds of information, all kinds of just just interest in all kinds of things. And that interest definitely trickled over to me. I have an interest in so many things. That's why it was so hard for me to choose a career. I'm so grateful to astrology helping me focus and choose one thing at a time, and using planetary energy for timing and for helping me realize that I can do multiple things if I time them, using the best energy for that thing. And so, my dad, I'm so grateful. I just, even to this day, well, heck, it hasn't been long. He passed in August. And so, on the Memorial Day weekend, I flew to Chicago. We had our memorial for our dad, and I got to be in the same room with all of my siblings on my dad's side for the first time. This picture is the first time that all of us were in the same room at the same time. And so in the middle is our eldest brother. On the left is the brother just under him. Then there's me. I'm by my youngest sister, and then across from me is the sister just under me. So next to me is the youngest, and then across from us is the one just older than she and just younger than I. Well, heck, not just, okay? There is about more than a more than a 10-year difference. I think I was in fact, I think I was probably like 19 when I learned that they were coming up, that they were being born. So that's another story for another day. But we got, and I'm so grateful to my eldest brother for just standing on business. He is a Taurus, and he handled business. He is such, I bet, I know my dad. I know dad is so proud of him. And it's up to us now to develop that relationship between each other. And I know I've certainly done my part in reaching out, and I continue to do so. And so it was bittersweet quarter three. I also got to spend time with my cousin on my mom's side, and with my middle school teacher. I mean, it's just such an honor to get to treat those who poured so much into me. And so my cousin's mom was married to my uncle, and so it was her birthday. And I got to, I was like honored to, like, just, she wanted to go to the zoo, and my cousin said, "Hey, you can come on too." I was like, "Well, thanks." And it was just what I needed, because being outdoors in that amazing sun and being among animals, I love animals. And it was just the thing I needed. And I got to pay for my uh, cousin's mom's lunch. We had lunch at the zoo. It was like a gourmet lunch. It was great. It was really great at Brookfield Zoo. And then this image on the right is my middle school teacher. I met up with her and I treated her to breakfast slash brunch. And it was just such a beautiful thing to give back, even though I was grieving. Being connected, going back to my roots was just the thing that I needed to nourish that wound. And I'm grateful. I also got to connect with my spiritual family. We're such a beautiful, diverse community. And I got to be a tourist back in Chicago. I spent some time at Navy Pier. Again, the weather was amazing. And I did a lot of walking. I needed that. I needed all of it. And I felt so nourished. And the sting wasn't so strong because of the connection that I had to family of all origin. Yeah, I got to stay in a hotel after I was spending time with family because I'm still an introvert at the end of the day. I needed to recharge and recoup and some time to myself. I was at an amazing hotel in Printers Row, which is just steps away from where I used to work. It's so funny how cycles repeat, but not in the same way. And instead of being an employee and going the hustle and bustle, I spent that time in that same area being a tourist. And I'm grateful. So here we are now in Q4, and we are wrapping up the year. Hummingbirds are my most favorite. And my brother knows that, my youngest brother. And he got me a hummingbird necklace for my birthday. He's so thoughtful. He's so very thoughtful. It's funny how my dad was a Gemini and my youngest brother's a Gemini. I think that's funny. And my mom sent me a gift, wearable art, a white flame made out of bone from her cousin who was an artist, a Koswa. Oh my goodness. I am wearing this white flame as I record this because we're wearing 16 days of white, the first 16 days of December, as a way to symbolize imparting world healing, wearing white or carrying something white to symbolize peace and world healing. And it's needed now more than ever. I find as I'm recording this, being in reflection again, that wearing white really does calm the spirit. It's centering. I feel present. I feel an inner peace, and I feel like I can collect my thoughts, even though we are in a time of Mercury retrograde right now. It's really interesting that wearing white can impart that sense of peace. So here we are, Q4, where I retreat, I review, and I renew because I'm also in a personal new year. November was my birthday, November 14th. And so I'm also in a sense of renewal. And so I'm giving thanks. I celebrated Thanksgiving with my brother. I mean, I'm always giving thanks. Let's be real. But, as the let's say, Indigenous Peoples Day, is really what it is. But, commercially it's Thanksgiving. Anyway, our tradition, being in being the rebel that I am, I just want to do what I want to do. But we had some smoked brisket and it was delicious. That's one highlight. And then I just had an amazing amaretto sour at another rooftop bar for my birthday, and it was great. Something that I also got to do is celebrate my niece whose birthday is 14 days after mine. So her birthday was on Thanksgiving this year. And I got to celebrate both of my nieces. And I'm going to share just a little highlight because they are just the bee's knees, okay? They are everything. These are my brothers, one of my brothers' two daughters, and they are just grown, but not. They are growing. Let me say that they have accomplished so much, and I am highlighting my two youngest nieces because they mean so much to me. So my youngest niece she had the audacity to really ask for something. She's a Sagittarius, so she's gonna go big. I asked her what does she want for her birthday? What's one gift that she would want, either for her birthday or Christmas? And she said she wanted a piano. A piano. Guess who got her a piano? TT Nubia. So she called me on FaceTime and she played Happy Birthday on her piano. And it was such a highlight for me. My heart just expanded. And so here we are. I also experienced some tremendous transformation in the area of just coming out of my shell and learning how to communicate better. I chose to enroll in a program called Command the Stage, and that is facilitated by Patrice Washington. Patrice Washington has the motto chase purpose, not money. And I'm very glad that I completed that program because I not only learned how to tell my story, it was in that program that my method, the name for my method was born. And it just came organically. By practicing telling my story, I came up with the name for the method I use to help other people transform using astrology to choose their purpose and find their and navigate their path. I also, as a result of that, started on my YouTube podcast. I started it back up and I have gained more views on this YouTube channel for my YouTube podcast. So that was a highlight that was worth sharing. And included in the Q4 highlights was attending Exodus Summit this year, an online summit for Black women who are interested in moving abroad, living abroad, or simply traveling more. Now, my North Node is in the ninth house. And so I'm feeling that pull to travel more, and I want to see how I can do that and maybe eventually live abroad. So these are my highlights for 2024. 2025 is a personal year for me where my eighth house is going to be highlighted. So we'll see. Look, I graduated from transformation to more transformation. Congratulations. Right? So we'll see how 2025 transforms me. And I have a framework. Let's see if my plans, let's see how well my plans um, align with that framework. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I would love to know if you made it this far. What is one thing you're setting out for 2025? What is one thing that highlighted your 2024 year? Was it a year of transformation for you? Of course it was, because Pluto was in Capricorn, so it was a transformation in a year for everyone. But I want you to know, or I want you to share, what area of your life do you feel was most transformed? For me, it was everywhere. What is your Capricorn area that was transformed in 2024? And what are you most looking forward to in the coming year? Let me know. I love to see growth and transformation in all areas. So let's continue that conversation in the comments. And I'll talk to you next time. Happy 2025 and congratulations for completing the year of 2024.